Zen. Hey Robin, I'm really glad you decided to remind us that we do this channel, Zen, because it's been a little crazy for me for a lot of reasons, but one big thing is that I have started teaching, which I actually think I talked about in a video earlier, but I've been doing that a lot, obviously. You know, some days all I feel like I do is push in chairs and clean up after my sophomores and seniors, but I'm not here to talk about that. I'm here to talk about using games in the classroom setting in a way that is measurable. I feel like in the world of education, there's a lot of pressure to have data and measurable results and outcomes. While I firmly believe that board games are an excellent tool in the classroom for building like rapport and critical thinking and math skills and social skills and all those kinds of things, that's just kind of nice to say. Like, what can we do with that to make it so if you had, so many chairs, if you had students and you wanted to use games in a measurably meaningful way, what does that look like? So while I finish pushing in these chairs, I'm gonna pop over to my mom, who is a professor at the University of South Florida, and she's gonna talk to you for a minute about how she uses a game in her college setting and how she makes it measurable for her students.
Konnichiwa, Zen, and good afternoon, good evening, Robin. My name is Artis, and I teach public speaking. And I'd like to talk today about this wonderful game saying, wait, there's more, which is a fabulous game to use in working with undergraduate students in a public speaking class. When you do a motivational speech, a persuasive speech, you're really trying to encourage people to do an action step. You want them to believe what you're saying is important enough that they want to rush right out and do this one thing. So motivational speeches and persuasive speeches are very similar to the infomercials you see on TV. What comes to mind is OxyClean. When I taught my public speaking class this last fall, and I wanted to have the students engage more in the class because public speaking is not always the class that everyone jumps up and wants to play in. I had a discussion with my lovely daughter who came up with the idea of saying, hey mom, why don't you try, but wait, there's more, which requires the player to come up with compelling reasons as to why you'd buy this very strange product that has an incredible range of attributes that are randomly chosen into some sort of coherent reason. I told the students that night we were going to play a game, and I said we're going to play this, we're going to break into teams. I divided everyone up into 5-person groups, and I had them choose a spokesperson. I passed out the cards, and I said you have 15 minutes to create your storyline. You start with your main speaker who introduces the topic, then when that person is done, the first person in the group says, but wait, there's more. And they come up with a reason what they should be doing. And as soon as they get done, person number 2 says, but wait, there's more. It was a great project. I had 5 great teams. They gave themselves wonderful names such as Clean Sweep or Post It and Be Happy for the post office box. And it was very compelling because they were graded on having a great thesis statement as to my product is this, 3, in this case 5 good reasons why they should buy it, good transitions between each of the wait, there's more attribute discussion, a nice synthesis, an action step, which is you want to buy our product because, and then a nice conclusion statement. They also used what we consider important claims of fact. In a survey of North America, our broom tested at 87% of the best brooms ever in the nation. Claim of policy. Who wouldn't want your house to look like you just walked into a home and garden TV setup? And claims of value. Come and buy our broom, please. We finished the one game, we evaluated the emotional speeches, we talked about claims, we talked about having a coherent storyline, and after we had that great discussion, the students wanted to play it again, which I have to say is pretty phenomenal from a bunch of undergraduates in an evening public speaking class.
Okay, so that's my mom, and that's how she uses, but wait, there's more. And what I'm going to do now is talk to you about how I use the games. But I teach TV production, and I also teach English 2 and 4, which is for 10th and 12th graders. I use games a lot. I started in October, which was kind of a weird time because my students all had subs pretty much before I arrived, so they were doing really nothing. I needed a quick way to build up that relationship. So I brought in games, and there were games that my kids love playing. Like, we play probably 10 games of stick snips a week. When we're feeling like we need to get some aggression out, there's Pocket Imperium, which they really like because it's quick and you blow stuff up. We bring out the kids and ask with Best Treehouse Ever. There's, of course, Dead Drop for a little quick deduction game. There's, and I apologize in advance for butchering this word, but it's not in English, so Estoril. In this game is all about spies, and the kids love that too. So anyway, that is how I use games, just like generally. Like, I have them here, they're always on the desk. Kids pick them up and play them when we're not doing other things. As I mentioned before, I came in at like a weird time, and 10th graders, they don't really want to write, and 12th graders are certainly like, dude, I'm done writing, I know how to write. No, you don't. So I needed a way to engage them quickly. Let me tell you, I have been using it once a week since I started on October 1st. That was my first day. Every week since then, I've been using this as a writing activity. Well, hold on. This is Super Fight. It is a game about debating. You get cards and you make creatures. Like, so this is a kindergarten class that breathes fire wearing a jetpack versus a pirate swinging a shark on a chain on a Segway. There's cards, you debate, we pick a winner. The way that I make it meaningfully measurable is by making it a writing assignment. When I first started, I would do the first day, we would pick the fight, and I would let the kids do it. So like someone, like they have the cards and we decide what it is. And then we would set up the fight, which I would call the pre-match, and it's basically a pre-writing activity, like a brainstorming. Let's go back to the box. The kindergarten class that breathes fire wearing a jetpack, we would stop, okay, and we would be like, well, what would be strengths of this thing? And then we would list them on the board. What would be some weaknesses? And we'd list that on the board. And then we would do the same thing for the pirate swinging a shark on a chain on a Segway. So we would take that and be like, all right, what might be good about this? What might be bad about it? It's a way that I think introduces writing in an unintimidating way. Like, a lot of times kids don't want to write. Like, if I was like, tell me about your favorite summer vacation. Super fight, or as I call it, super writing, is so ridiculous. They just can't help. They're like, oh, grumpy in the back. But then someone says something that's like, that's dumb. And then they'll throw out a counterpoint. And it's just great for that purpose. The second day, we would have the kindergarten class win. So we would write the paragraph like they won. On the third day, we would write it like the pirate won. So then on the fourth day, they would do the winner, like they decide who wins. So they can take points that we've made together as a class, and they can use those in their paragraph if they want. They can come up with a whole new argument, because sometimes they're like, that doesn't even make sense. And so they'll come up with something amazing. You can align this to standards. I've done that, the Common Core stuff, if your state uses it. If not, okay. And if so, if you would like that, I can just send it to you. It's like a lesson plan and everything. Got it all done. And the best part about it is I don't have to read another analysis on some kind of poem, but it's just refreshing for me to see the creative writing piece. I can track it, obviously, as I grade and be like, well, you started here and now you're here, and this is a strength. You have really good topic sentences. Your counter argument's not so great. Maybe you could develop your points a little better. And it's like fun, and the kids like it. Like, they're to the point now where some of them pick their own super fights. Normally we just do the same one for the class, but some of them are like, I really want my own, and then they'll decide, or that's like who fights over who gets to pick the one that the class does. And so that's like something simple. I took super fight and made it a writing assignment, and I linked it to writing standards, and that works. My mom took, but wait, there's more, and she linked it to the, points of an argument, or whatever it was she said. And she made it work for her at the college level. While it's great to have these other games available and ready for your kids, like, it's also equally important to make it so that they matter. Why are we doing this? I knew that this was working when my students started asking for it all the time. But more importantly, when they were like, if more things were fun like this to learn, I wouldn't mind doing it. The moment where I really knew like this was worth it was when I had the kids do a self-reflective piece, and so many of them put that they love writing now because they get to talk about stupid things every week and decide which one would win in a fight. If that's not proof that games are measurably meaningful, then I don't know what is.